Happy Saturday night, Sooner Nation. Welcome to the Sooner Surge, the podcast that tells it like it is. Appreciate everyone being on here on a Saturday night. There's a lot to talk about today. Well, I wouldn't say a lot, but there's good news to talk about today, Sooner fans. As earlier today, OU gets the commitment. They received the commitment of Deacon Schmidt, 4-star offensive lineman, and a guy who can really, you look at his tape, you look at everything about him, you read about him. He's a guy that could slide inside at the guard position or stay outside and play the tackle position. He's 6'5", 320. It's a really good get. It was expected. Sooner fan says O-line looking great for 2026. Yeah, again, I said this in the video earlier, but the stacked classes of Bill Beatenbow, really impressive on the offensive line. And OU is really looking good on offensive and defensive line. Where it is that you kind of need to be the best in recruiting are those two position groups, and that's where they've really kind of focused on. Mez says offensive tackle Deacon Schmidt picks OU over Alabama and Colorado. Hey, I was going to ask because Phil Lodeholt leaves Colorado, right, to Mississippi State. Isn't that where he's at? And then they lose out on a guy like this to Oklahoma, and he's from Windsor, Colorado. So a guy that Colorado probably really felt like they could get, and it makes you wonder, could they have landed him with Lodeholt? But it doesn't matter, not the case. Bill Beatenbow gets the job done. Phil is at Mississippi State, yeah. Colin says, good day today, getting Wingstop later, got a new commit, and don't have to work tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow's Sunday. Sunday's always a great day, at least that's my opinion. Sunday's always a great day. I played a little basketball today with family, and boy, am I sore. Boy, am I sore. Two of my sons ran in a 4-mile race here in Texas, did really well. One of them won it. The other one got fourth. It's been a long day. Man, I'm sore. I'm tired. I'm not in shape, but I could still, I think, compete at a high level in basketball. So I'll take on all comers. Just tell me when you meet up. I'll be there. Lord's Day, best day. Absolutely. Let's not get too excited, kids. Now, I agree with that comment. Let's not get too excited because kids change their minds. Yeah, I don't think he is. Now, it was interesting because he goes on a visit, June 6th to OU. I think he then visited, and Hunter can correct me if I'm wrong, I believe he visited Nebraska and then Tennessee and then now chooses OU. I think everyone felt like it was going to be OU for the last few weeks after that visit. Blake says, hope y'all are doing well. Been working on semi-tires since 12. Wow, 3 more hours to go. Life is good. Can't wait for football season. Hey, what's up, Braden? Yeah. I don't know if you guys saw on our channel, I posted a short, and it's something that I'm going to try to do at least a few times a week just to there's some good discussion points. Today was, ball on the 7-yard line, down 5, 8 seconds remaining. Who do you want taking the snap, Kyler or Baker? Me personally, it's Baker Mayfield. It's Baker Mayfield every single day for me. And you know what? I know a lot of people take Kyler, I think, because of his ability to get outside the pocket, but I wouldn't even call a bootleg for either. Like, for me, I think Baker in the pocket, dancing around, right? And then maybe taking off, letting the pocket collapse a little and him extending the play. I think that's where he was great at the goal line because you get receivers who can get behind the DBs in that area, it's game over. Now, Benjamin says Kyler can outrun the edge. I agree. I mean, I think that's just a fun little argument that you could have, and you're never going to have a winner. There's never going to be a winner because you're never going to know. Kyler's speed is the separator, Jackson says, and that's what everyone want to say, but I think for me, it's right here. It's the moxie. And Baker is an absolute dog, though. So you look at OU's recruiting class, guys. You got 2 4-star offensive linemen now. One is interior, Noah Best. And then you have today the commitment of Deacon Schmidt. You combine that, and I'm going to miss some guys. And maybe Hunter can drop several names or someone in the chat, 918 or some others on here who follow recruiting really well. Let's just look at the O-line because you got EPL's group, Autry, EPL. You have Foje, Fasusi, several others. I know there's some really good ones. You've got Best. You've got this guy Schmidt. Like, they've got 2 or 3 probably from each class that I think have a chance to be special and play on Sundays. So now, Bobby, welcome back. Hey, Hurts was awesome, but he's not, in my opinion, a guy I want the ball in the hands late like that. I think you want the dog, and that's Baker Mayfield. Autry Dent, yeah, there's the ones. I said all those. I'm missing a couple. Oh, there's one. I can't think of his name. Someone will put it in here. He's really good. I think going to be really good. Yeah, the portal transfers were solid. I think Bill Bedenbow has done a really good job of combining recruits with some pieces for that O-line. Yeah. Why did Overton pick OSU? Hunter, you may know more than me. I think it was probably I don't know if it was money related. I would say it was more playing time related, personally. That is a personal opinion. Okay? Personal opinion. There is a lot of guys on the D-line at OU that are young. Yeah, hey, Jackson, Akin Kumi, I just don't foresee a world that he even sniffs the field this year. I don't. Jay will be back this next week. I'm not sure what day. But, hey, I'll be here every night but July 4th, okay? I'm going to try to go every single night, I can't speak today. Every single night, even though out of town. We're going to try to do it every night. Sooner fan, this is kind of a point that rubs Sooner fans the wrong way. I, for one, don't want Fabechi to start. Now, he's the most experienced, probably, of everyone on that line. But I just don't see that he's going to be replaced. I really want it. I really want it. But I just don't foresee that happening. Yeah, Akin Kumi is young and hasn't really played a lot, even in high school. So Austin says, got a question. Are you okay if Thunder were Sonics? I wouldn't care. It wouldn't bother me either way. They're not going to do that. There was a question here. Oh, it was Colin. It wasn't a question. It was a statement. Believe it or not, officially less than 10 Saturdays away from OU football. That first game, August 30th against Illinois State. We're going to open the phone lines early tonight. We're 8 minutes in here. Please check out the Fan Stop at thefanstop.com. Sign up for the Shirt of the Month Club. Okay. Use code SURGE. You get 10% off your first 3 months. And then you're going to just get shirts keep rolling in every single month. And you're going to open it up. You're going to open up the package. You're going to say, I wonder what it's going to look like this month. And it's crazy. It's kind of like a snow cone. I've never had a bad snow cone. I've never had a bad Fan Stop shirt. Snow cone, never a bad one. Never bad Fan Stop shirt. Sign up for Shirt of the Month Club. Use code SURGE. I'm going to open the phone lines. Yes, Jefferson to Utah. He did. He committed yesterday to Utah. I thought OU had a chance. I really did. But they don't land him. And I think tight end continues to be a spot where OU just has struggled. That's a fact of the matter. There's the link, guys. There's the link for the callers. Love to hear from people tonight. You can talk about anything you want. OU apparently has no open spots. Jackson, call in and explain what you mean. We got Colin. And Sooner fan, absolutely. Play the best player. I am so tired of guys playing who aren't the best player. Play the best players. We saw just about an hour away from Norman in Oklahoma City, 30 minutes is Paycom Center. They played youth, and they won the NBA championship. So let's get to Colin. Then we have Jackson. Colin, what's up?
What's going on?
Not a lot, man. How you doing?
Good. I agree with your statement, but also disagree with what you just said. Playing the most talented person. But because, yes, I agree. You want to play your best player. But it's also like freshman experiences, and they're going to make crucial mistakes as freshmen that you may not need in like a high-state game.
Okay, now when we're talking about though, Colin, I think it totally depends on the position.
Yeah.
A true freshman quarterback, yeah, going to make a lot of mistakes. A guy on the offensive line, if he's got the size and is just nasty, why would you not play him?
But I guess now thinking about like, what if you're in a situation, well, like last year, Jackson Arnold was probably, I mean, or Hawkins. I don't know who was like better. I think they're both end up being good. But like in that situation, do you play Jackson more if you look back at it because he's more experienced, even though he's making those mistakes, or do you go to the new guy who you try to lean on more because he's not making as much mistakes?
Last year it was an anomaly. I don't even want to talk about it. It was bad every way you look at it. You put a magnifying glass on it. You get 10,000 feet away from it. It looks the same. It's bad. It's very bad. And Chester has a point here, Colin, that says we haven't developed an O lineman in 3 years because of that exact reason. They don't play him.
Yeah, and that's probably why we also lose a lot of transfer portal people because that was the whole thing with Devon Mitchell is we never really saw him. We just have to trust what coaches were saying, which was like he was late to practice, he never showed up, his work ethic was low, and that's why he wasn't starting. But and then they turn around and say he's one of the best practice squad players, but we never. I feel like that was my like big what if last season is just seeing what he was like, and I'll definitely turn into like Louisville games just to see how he is or how good he is because we never really got to see him. But to
Yeah.
go back to that question earlier, like I know that's how Thunder were so good is they played the young a lot. So when they were, and that's the other thing is like if you're gonna do that, you have to play him minutes and garbage time and like mini minutes in the like regular season. So when it gets to the playoffs and whatnot, they have that experience. Like their first few minutes can't be big moments.
Well, they're going to have to. I mean, that's why you play them early, and then as the season progresses, they're no longer as young. But yeah, I think it depends on position group for sure. I think
Because
it does.
I know it doesn't like I can't. This won't be like an exact comparison, but it's almost like AJ Mitchell in the finals when we threw him in. Like yes, he was rookie and he was bringing the energy, but you could see like he was missing wide open shots, not playing that good of defense, and he was just excited. Like
Yeah.
sometimes you have to like calm him down and whatnot. But switching to OU football, I definitely think will 100% be better this year. And this upcoming year reminds me of the second year of Dylan Gabriel because wasn't he there 2 years?
Yes,
Gabriel.
Dylan Gabriel was at OU 2 years.
Yeah, it reminds me of that second year when we went on like 10 wins. It's like that type of feeling where we know who we have in the quarterback. We don't have to put a question mark on it because it's proven. He's
Yeah.
proven. We
Well,
have one of the best running backs in the SEC and college football in Jaden Mott, who I think is a good running back watching highlights because he's a one cut
well,
move, one down the sideline.
yeah. Regardless of everything, I want the best player playing at the position. So I mean, of anything, I don't even care what position it is. Really, I want the best. You live and learn. You make mistakes and you get better because of them. But hey, we're gonna get to the next caller. Thanks,
My
Colin.
last
Appreciate it.
question
Yeah,
quickly would be why do you think Venables doesn't trust to play like the freshman? Do you think
he
he's
does
just
on defense. He does
so
on
I mean
defense. He
do
played
you,
freshman quarterbacks last year.
do you think Arbuckle will be different on playing
I
on
actually do.
this scheme?
I do. I think Arbuckle's a confident guy, and he's going to play the best play. Now, again, how much autonomy is he going to have in who plays, or is it the position coaches? But we'll see.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Colin. We got two other callers here. Let's get to Jackson and Bobby. Hey, by the way, I saw everyone saying nah, hey. It was actually accidental. I actually did not mean to ban Bevo, I just deleted the comment, but as I hit it, another comment came up and it went to the next button. So I apologize, but not really. Let's get to Jackson.
What's going on, Germ? Hey,
What's up?
just to answer what you had first said about there was no open spots. I believe that OU has no open roster spots right now. That's what I was saying, like with scholarships and everything. So I guess that Josiah Jefferson, if he would have committed to OU, would have been like I guess you could say kind of like a NIL guy where he's not on scholarship, but like he may get a good amount of money to pay for his
Regardless, and
school.
I saw someone in the comments earlier, I think it was Chief Keith, which I agree with. I am so sick of the red shirt.
Yeah.
It does no good to red
Mhm.
shirt anyone. They're going to go to someone else anyway.
Yeah, they're just gonna leave if they don't play. I mean,
And they're not this. Even if a guy is a 4-year college guy, there's no need to redshirt him because someone's going to take his spot. Because if he's not good enough to leave in the NFL in 2 years, they're probably not playing him at OU. So that's what I think.
Yeah. And Jeremy, I had something that I want to ask you. So we all know that Jim Nagy and the staff he's put together, they were brought in to not only to recruit good talent, but to evaluate elite talent as well.
Correct.
Find a lot of hidden gems.
Correct.
And whenever you talk about Brent Venables, since ever he's came to campus, his first recruiting class was that they signed was that 2022. I guess would technically be his first class he signed.
Okay.
And then so who would you say that Brent Venables and staff, who has been the best evaluation of a player in your opinion that maybe wasn't as highly ranked that OU has gotten so far?
Oh man, I don't know how bad. And I know Bobby's on here. He can probably answer this when he gets here. He may have a thought on this and some others in the chat. But
to me, I think it'd be pretty easy for me.
Who?
Eli Bowen. He was a 3-star.
Well,
Dude,
look, we're 1 year in. I agree he had a great year, but let's not forget LSU last year. That he got torched pretty good. But that's a good one.
Yeah.
What about Grayson Holton? How highly recruited was Grayson Holton?
Grayson Holton, I think, was high 3, low 4. I don't know if Hunter has it. You have Jaden Jackson. I think
he was highly recruited though.
But he wasn't a 4-star till late in the cycle.
Yeah, but I don't consider Jaden Jackson a guy that they evaluated well. Like everyone wanted Jaden Jackson, I would say. Now Dolby out of
Kendall
JUCO
Dolby
is a great answer. Kendall Dolby is who I'll go with. That I'm gonna piggyback off what Daniel said.
Yeah, and then I know that this recruiting class now is ranked, I think, number 35 or 36 in 24/7 Sports Composite rankings. They need to get at least that, but I think there's several dudes that are going to rise a lot. I think that both the Jandro brothers are going to end up being 4-stars. Daniel Norman, I don't know if you've watched Daniel Norman's film, but he's Nick Benito. He's from the same high school. Brian Harris, I think, will end up being a 4-star. We'll see what happens with Derek Johnson, long rangey corner. So I think, I know a lot of OU fans are gonna just kind of be like, oh, well, our recruiting's done, which I know you see that on Twitter and stuff. Like number 35 at this point, it's time to panic. But the reality of the game is it's just not going to be very feasible to sign 25 guys every cycle with the transfer portal.
Yeah,
it's just not.
It's not feasible.
So you're going to need to sign like 15 to 20 guys and get some transfers to fill in spots. And I know they want to. Brent Venables has even said the most important thing is not how you recruit; it's the retention you have. And
that's part of it, and it's also the development of the players that you get.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. But I do think that this recruiting class is going to end up going up into the top 15. I think whenever it was Jay on the show, I think I said it was going to finish 8 or 9, but I don't know if it's going to finish that high. But we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, thanks, Jackson. Miguel, welcome back. Missed you as well. Let's get to Bobby Redwine, who we've also missed. It's been a while, Bobby. Glad to hear you on here tonight.
Working for Toyota, I'm on 2 weeks nights and 2 weeks days, and it's my sleeping is always it's crazy. I was on straight days, but I'm on rotation here.
Well, glad you're on here tonight.
Yeah, thank you. Do y'all think that he's taken, which I know the times have changed, but maybe taking that Dabo Swinney approach to maybe a Clemson of a few years back, to where maybe I know the recruiting, but Clemson never had they weren't really, if you think about it, when they won those couple of national championships, their recruiting was what, 15, 16?
Well, actually, Bobby, I'm glad you said this, because someone just the other day I think it was Colin maybe, or someone, I could be wrong, like their 6 recruiting classes, they had like 16, 12, 7, 9, 11. They had like 3 in the top 10 and then 2 in the top 20. So they weren't all top 10.
Right.
It was Daniel Brooks. Sorry, Daniel. I missaid it. Yeah, it was Daniel. So they had 3, I think, in the top 10, and Daniel might be able to drop those numbers in there again. I know it was like 16, 7, 9, 11. But yeah, you've got to have some, and then the others just be around that area.
So I think he's taking that, development of players, like maybe how Dabo Swinney's really good at that. That he never had, a lot of, I'm not counting the defense, but mainly even on the offensive side, is where they took maybe some 4 stars and not all 5 stars as much, and developed them to be pretty good players. So I think he's taking that approach. And maybe it's going to pay off for us, maybe here in the long run. Clemson, Dabo Swinney didn't start off winning national championships when he was first in the coaching there at Clemson. So maybe, that's why maybe sometimes we panic a little bit too much, and we need to take maybe a back seat to it, I guess. I don't know. It's just kind of one way to look at it, I guess.
Can't believe I was muted, but I don't know why I'm muted. I'm by myself. You go back to Clemson, that was prior to the transfer portal.
Yeah.
So now, even if you're in the 20s, I think, but you dominate the portal, that's not a bad place to be.
No. Yeah. But either way, okay, it's good. I'm glad to watch the show tonight live. I watched the show on pre-tape delays. So anyway,
appreciate you, Bobby.
All right. Talk to y'all later.
All right. See you. And guys, I think I accidentally clicked a button over here and deleted something else. But man, I'm struggling tonight. Hey, yeah, I don't even think we can compare recruiting now to prior to the transfer portal. It's not the same. I know KB Longhorn dropped something in the Discord today. That was a YouTube video from another channel where they were interviewing a lawyer or something, and it was talking about NIL and settlement and stuff. It was pretty interesting, but regardless, it is a different animal today. You can be 20s in recruiting, high school recruiting, top 10 in portal, and have a really good recruiting class, or vice versa. You can have top 10 high school recruiting class in the 20s in the portal and still, I think, come out okay. Does BV finally get a bowl game this year? He has pissed me off with bowl performances. Blake, it's been terrible, okay? His bowl performances have been terrible. It's inexcusable at the University of Oklahoma to show up to bowl games and not be prepared to play. That's one thing you got with Bob Stoops. Even when they made a bowl game that wasn't a playoff, they won, or they at least were prepared. That is the biggest pet peeve of mine under BV, is to show up to these bowl games and not be able to take care of business. I'm tired of that. Tired of it. I don't know what you're referring to on here in the chat, but yeah, I mean, if he doesn't win a bowl game this year, listen to me right now. I'm saying it right now, June 28th. If BV doesn't win a bowl game, and that bowl game that he loses is not a playoff game, bye. Sayonara. Auf Wiedersehen. Bon voyage. See you later. Is that fair? If he doesn't win a bowl game, that's not a playoff. Guys, and I'm safe to say, if he wins a bowl game and it's not a playoff, because let's say they go to the Liberty Bowl or something, he's gone then too. Period. OU needs to win this season. Facts. And earlier, I just want to get back into it. You've got to play your best players. For example, EPL, if he is every day practicing better than Fabechi, he starts, period. You can't put this other stuff aside. Now, again, I know it's comparisons, but you think of other sports where young guys were just more talented and ready and played, and it helped them. Now, Chester says, I take it back, Jerm. Instead of Bone, I say Jacob Jordan was the most overachiever. Well, yeah, I mean, and you know what, Chester? I'm going to say it now, and I hope this doesn't rub anyone the wrong way. You guys ready? You know why I'm going to say it? Because I'm a transparent person. Hunter, you ready for that? Are you laughing right now? I'm going to say it. If Jacob Jordan has to play a lot of meaningful snaps, I'm going to be upset. And please do not take this the wrong way. I love what Jacob Jordan did last year. I loved it. I thought he had some Wes Welker in him. I just don't see where he's going to be better than who they have in front of him. I just don't. Greg God says they were playing Spencer Brown last year. Let's be real. Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. Absolutely bad. And look, if my back's against the wall, and it's pretty close here, but if my back's against the wall, I'm pulling out all the stops. I'm playing whoever I have to make sure I can move away from the wall so that my back isn't in the corner. You know what the frustrating thing is? And good night, Blake. Good night. And enjoy work. Be safe. And I want to get to Daniel's comment. Look, if my back's against the wall, to me, why would I go on playing guys that maybe aren't the best and the most explosive? I don't understand it. Why would I put people in positions that don't give myself a chance to win, a.k.a. Bauer Sharp? Bauer Sharp is probably going to be pretty good at LSU, but they're going to use him in a better way. I mean, 7-yard turnaround, find a soft spot in the zone. It's difficult. 7 yards, find a soft spot in the zone and throw him the ball. It's ridiculous how OU used players last year, and it wasn't to their benefit. I don't understand. I'm getting fired up thinking about how bad it was. Now, Daniel said he can be used for certain schemes. I agree. There are spots he can be used. What would those spots be, Daniel? Wide receiver flare screen? I'm not sure I want that. I think for him, I'm trying to think. Maybe across the middle on a slant route. Maybe 3 yards in the flat a little bit and juke. I don't know. Texas nickname is Almost, Benjamin says. I like that. Chester, how you have our wait, where was that? Chester. Sorry. How do you have Arbuckle as a top head coach? Look, I agree with you, 918, and I don't understand how Chester, let me rehash this, even though I did this the other night. If Ben Arbuckle is who people are saying he's going to be, and John Mateer is as well, then he's not going to be the head coach at OU. Why? Because BV is. Because they're going to have a really good season. Now, if he has a great year and another great year next year, he will be a head coach. It won't be at OU, though. Like Chester, I agree that Ben Arbuckle is going to be a head coach pretty soon. If he is who we think he is. He's just not going to be the head coach at OU. Because if he is that good, BV staying. And good. I hope so. I hope he's that good. And I hope BV stays. Exactly, Sooner Cowboy. If BV gets fired, it's because Arbuckle and Mateer aren't who we thought they were. And if they aren't who we thought they were, then BV could be gone. And then we'd be talking about guys like maybe Heupel. No chance at Levy. There is zero chance. I have as much of a chance at making it as a head coach at OU. I have a far better chance of beating Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark than Jeff Levy does of being the head coach at Oklahoma. No way. And I don't even think they'd go hire Heupel. He hasn't won big enough games. his record against big-time teams isn't great. So, I don't know. Yeah, I like having the pressure to win. We need urgency. Now, okay, Benjamin, there's two ways of looking at it. You need urgency, but sometimes pressure is when mistakes happen. So, and Gray God, agreed. I already know that, and I've said it, and I even think with Caitlin Clark I could. So, hey, going back to what someone said here in the chat. Let me find it. Sorry. Kyle Flood is getting a head coaching job before Arbuckle. We'll see. About the pressure comment. I think it's safe to say that pressure, the combination of pressure and Seth Luttrell having to have an offense and the quarterback room just folded under pressure. However, I think Mateer and Arbuckle, I like the swagger. I like everything about those two dudes. I think they might with the urgency. I think we're going to see a really good, and I'm interested to see how much quickness we run. You know, how much 2-minute drill or if they're going to huddle up much. I'm very interested to see Arbuckle style. That's one of the biggest exciting things, most exciting things about this season is we're going to get to see a new offense. You didn't have a spring game. We don't even know what it looks like really, unless you go watch some of Washington State's film. But even then, he's kind of done some different things every stop he's been to. I have to see his schemes as well. And then we'll have so much to talk about on here. It'll be fun breaking down schemes week in, week out, having 2 or 3 videos a day and the live. Who's ready for that? Me, I'm ready for that. Dalpo says, I'd like to make excuses for BV. I really like the guy, but it's do or die this year for me. Yeah, guys, it's year 4. What are we doing if it's not do or die? Like, if you don't think it's do or die, look, BV would sit right here next to me in this chair and say, you know what, Germ? Do or die. In fact, it's do or die since I've been here because that's the kind of pressure I put on myself. That's what he's going to say. Guarantee you. Guarantee you. Excuses are over. And Bob Stoops never made excuses. And I don't think, guys, and by the way, BV's not going to make excuses. High expectations for Burks. I saw something come out where he's projected to be a good draft pick, higher draft pick, but I've got to see it from him too. He's got all the capability. If he's healthy, why would he not have a great season? I just think he will. For me, the biggest difference is going to be you're going to have a guy in the pocket who can scan, who can have his head on a swivel, who can make the correct read and know it's the correct read, who knows the offense, all those things. So that's what I think. Hey, check out the FanStop, thefanstop.com. Sign up for that Shirt of the Month Club. The Sooners did get a commit today, Deacon Schmidt. I like it a lot. I love the name Deacon. I love that he's a 4-star offensive lineman combined with Noah Best, the other 4-star offensive lineman in this class. It's a good day today for the Sooners, landing Deacon Schmidt. And you just got to hope they got a couple more right around the corner, guys. Right around the corner. You got to hope. Tonight had it all. It had Bevo getting banned accidentally, I'll do quote unquote, but he's back. Just wants to talk football. We have the takes on playing young guys, and that's something I really want to delve into. And maybe tomorrow night, it's Sunday night, it's the week of the 4th. Let's talk about freshmen and sophomores on this team currently that should be playing this season. That's the topic tomorrow. Freshman or sophomore that should be playing this season. And when I say playing, I'm not saying them up. They should be in the first or second unit getting snaps in the rotation. Freshman and sophomore. Think about it as we leave tonight. And I just want to say thanks again. It's a little more difficult, I'll say, by yourself. But it's great to have callers. It's great to have comments. There's never a down moment in the comments. So I appreciate you guys rolling with that. Deacon Schmidt's a Sooner. Thanks for joining me tonight. You guys have a super Sunday. It's a great day, the Lord's Day. Enjoy your Sunday. Try to stay cool in Oklahoma. I know it's 106 heat index tomorrow, but I'm here in Texas where it's maybe as hot as that as well. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great night. Boomer.